The Global Seed Vault's hidden secrets high above the Arctic Circle, on a remote Norwegian island, stands a structure that looks more like a bunker for the apocalypse than a scientific facility, half buried in the permafrost, with a long illuminated steel wedge jutting from the mountainside. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault has captured global imagination since the day it opened. For years, governments, researchers, and conspiracy theorists alike have speculated about its true purpose. Most people know it as a backup for the world-esque crops humanity's last insurance policy against extinction. But the real story of the Seed Vault is far more complex, far more mysterious, and, in many ways, far more unsettling. The idea of creating a global seed store began long before the vault existed. Scientists had long warned that rapid industrialization, war, climate change, and modern agriculture were wiping out plant diversity at an alarming rate. Crop diversity, the genetic variations that allow plants to resist pests, adapt to harsh climates, and support billions of people, was shrinking. By the late 20th century, over 90% of traditional varieties grown for thousands of years had disappeared. Humanity was unknowingly walking toward a future where one major disease, one global drought, or one environmental disaster could wipe out the world as a food supply. So the question arose, what happens if the world loses the crops it relies on? Some researchers imagined a total collapse. Others worried about accidental extinction from genetically modified contamination or a major war that could destabilize global agriculture. And so, plans were drafted for a secure, remote, politically neutral location where seeds could be stored for centuries untouched, unaltered, and preserved. Svalbard was the perfect choice. Located between Norway and the North Pole, it sits in the middle of a tectonically stable zone, far from political conflict. Its permafrost provides natural refrigeration, even if electricity fails. The frozen earth can keep seeds cold for decades. Nearby, the surrounding waters of the Arctic Ocean provide both isolation and protection. It is one of the most peaceful regions on Earth, protected by international treaty. All of this made Svalbard not just a Volvat, a fortress of life. However, the biggest question people still ask is, why is it so secure? Why does the world need an ultra-protected global seed vault with biometric locks, blast-proof tunnels, and thick steel doors embedded deep inside a mountain? This is where the hidden secrets begin. The seed vault is not simply a freezer full of plants. It is a highly strategic asset that holds the entire genetic diversity of the world-esque food crops. Within its chambers lie more than 1.2 million unique seed samples, each representing a piece of human history. Every one of them is a potential weapon against famine, a key to surviving future disasters, or a darker interpretation of potential target in global power struggles. Countries do not own the vault. They own only their seed boxers, sealed and stored inside it. Norway maintains a facility, but no single nation controls its contents. This level of neutrality is rare in international cooperation. And because every major agricultural superpower Russia, the United States, India, Brazil, the stakes are incredibly high. But if the seed vault is meant to protect global crops, why do some governments lock away seeds that no one else is allowed to access? Why are certain species kept secret, not listed in public databases, or delivered to the vault under diplomatic security? Why do some sealed seed boxers contain no information at all? One secret lies in the genetic value of the seeds. Hidden inside these small envelopes is the blueprint for the crops that feed humanity. Some of these genetics are worth billions of dollars. Rare wheat, resistant to drought. Rice that grows in salt water. Ancient maize varieties that survive volcanic eruptions. Beans immune to certain diseases. These seeds are not just biological samples, they are intellectual property, the raw material for future food monopolies. This sensitive reality has created an invisible tension. Corporations, nations, and research institutions contribute seeds to ensure humanity's survival, but also to secure their future competitive advantage. And this creates an unspoken truth. The vault is not only about saving the world, but also about controlling the future of agriculture. Another hidden layer lies in the vault's relationship with global crises. Contrary to popular belief, the seed vault was not built only for natural disasters. It was also designed for scenarios involving biotechnology accidents. global pandemics that could disrupt supply chains, geopolitical wars that could destroy seed banks, or agricultural collapse triggered by climate change. The Vault's founders envisioned events that could destabilize entire civilizations. And shockingly, humanity has already needed to use the Vault once. In 2015, war devastated Syria. The International Center for Agricultural Research in the dry areas, a major seed bank located near Aleppo, was destroyed by conflict. For the first time in history, seeds had to be withdrawn from the Global Seed Vault to rebuild a lost collection. Plants that had survived thousands of years of cultivation in the Fertile Crescent, the birthplace of protection from modern war. This event revealed why the Vault is necessary, but it also raised a more troubling question. If war in one country required tapping into the Vault, what happens if multiple regions collapse at once? What happens if global agriculture fails? Scientists have warned that climate change could push crops beyond their limits. Rising temperatures, deadly fungi, invasive insects, and mega droughts threaten the world's major food systems. Wheat, maize, rice, soybeans crops, billions depend on an uncertain future. The Vault holds seeds that might save them, but only if humanity acts in time. Then there is the mystery of the Vault's deeper rooms. Officially, the Vault has 3 storage halls, though only one is in use. The other 2 remain empty, sealed off, and unexplained. Norway states that these rooms are simply reserved for future capacity, but some researchers believe otherwise. They suspect the Vault was built with the possibility of housing other forms of genetic material, perhaps frozen tissue, DNA libraries, or even cryogenic samples of extinct species. While no such materials are officially stored there, the infrastructure suggests that it could be adapted. This raises the possibility that the Seed Vault could one day become more than a plant archive. It could become a genetic ark. Some theorists go even further, believing that hidden partnerships between biotech giants, governments, and global organizations may already be shaping the Vault's future role. The Svalbard Treaty allows multiple nations to operate under shared sovereignty in the region. This has made the Vault a hub for powerful institutions with overlapping interests: food security, genetic research, climate adaptation, and geopolitical stability. A place where scientific ambition meets strategic planning. One of the most curious aspects involves the funding and the organizations behind the Vault's creation. The project was supported not only by Norway but also by the Rockefeller Foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the Crop Trust. These groups have long-standing histories in agricultural development, biotechnology, and global health. Their involvement has fueled speculation, some grounded in fact, others in conspiracy, about whether the Vault is part of a larger initiative to reshape the future of food. The Crop Trust, for example, is dedicated to preserving global agricultural diversity, but critics argue that it wields too much power over what seeds are preserved and which ones are forgotten. Meanwhile, the Gates Foundation has invested heavily in genetically modified crops, prompting debates about whether the Vault's purpose is purely preservation or preparation. Another secret lies beneath the permafrost itself. When the Vault was built, engineers believed the Arctic would remain frozen for centuries, but climate change is now melting the region faster than predicted. In 2017, unusually warm temperatures caused water to seep into the entrance tunnel, not enough to harm the seeds, but enough to spark concern. If global warming continues, even this remote Arctic fortress may be in danger. This is ironic, because the very crisis the Vault was built to withstand may be the one that threatens its stability. To combat these, the facility has undergone upgrades: concrete reinforcement, new waterproofing systems, drainage improvements. But the fact remains, even the Global Seed Vault is not immune to the changing planet. Another intriguing question lingers. What happens when new species emerge, new genetically engineered crops are created, and new hybrids are developed? Who decides which ones go into the Vault? Who decides what humanity should save? Some scientists worry that powerful corporations may attempt to store modified seeds that could replace traditional varieties, shifting future agriculture toward patented, controlled genetics. If these seeds outcompete natural species, the Vault could inadvertently preserve a future dominated by corporate-owned crops instead of natural diversity. Others believe the vault holds seeds that the public does not know exist, experimental varieties, climate-engineered plants, or crops designed for extreme conditions. Not all contributions are transparent. Some shipments arrive without detailed disclosure. Some are labeled simply as restricted. Some belong to classified research groups. The secrecy fuels speculation about what lies inside the sealed boxes that no one can open without permission. Even Norway cannot inspect them. There are private safes, sitting in a public vault. Yet not all secrets are sinister. Some of the vault's most astonishing mysteries lie in its scientific potential. Seeds stored properly can remain viable for thousands of years. Each one is a time capsule of ancient genetic code DNA that may carry traits long lost in modern agriculture. These traits could help future humans survive challenges we cannot yet imagine. The vault contains barley grown by Viking farmers, wheat that once fed medieval empires, rice cultivated during the early dynasties of China, maize bred by the Maya and Aztecs, sorghum adapted to African desserts, legumes nurtured along the Nile thousands of years before the pyramids were built. Inside each seed is a story of survival, migration, culture, and civilization. Yet one secret rises above all the rest. The vault is not just a scientific facility, it is a monument to human fragility. Its very existence is a confession that the world is unstable, that our food systems are vulnerable, that our future is uncertain. It is a message carved into the Arctic stone. Humanity must prepare for the worst, and perhaps the greatest hidden secret of the Global Seed Vault is that it represents both hope and fear. Hope that, no matter what happens, humanity will rise again. Fear that we may one day need to reopen the vault, not for scientific research, but for survival. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault is a reminder that civilization is only as strong as its ability to protect the foundations of life. As climate change intensifies, as conflicts spread, as ecosystems collapse, the vault becomes not a backup plan but a lifeline. Inside that frozen mountain lies the future of food, the memory of the ancient world, and the blueprint for humanity's survival. Its doors may remain closed for decades, even centuries, but the day may come when the world turns to Svalbard again. And when that day arrives, the seeds hidden in the cold darkness will once again be called upon to rebuild what was lost. For now, the vault waits in silence, silent guardian in the Arctic night, a vault of secrets, a library of life, and a testament to humanity's desire to endure. Behind its steel doors lie not just seeds, but the fate of generations yet unborn. The world may change, nations may rise and fall, but the seeds will remain, frozen in time, holding the key to tomorrow. And the final secret is this: the Global Seed Vault was never meant to save the past. It was built to save the future.